Welcome to today's podcast on The Handmaid's Tale. I am your host, Shai. The Handmaid's Tale takes place in a dystopian society and follows a handmaid named Offred. The book follows her life as a handmaid, from relationships to her daily life. In today's episode, we'll review the story summary, my analysis, and my opinions on the book. First, let's go over what a handmaid is. A handmaid is a woman who serves higher ups in their society. Their jobs include cooking, cleaning, shopping, and birthing children for their commanders. The story starts when Alfred gets assigned to serve the commander and his wife, Serena Joy. Though her daily routine is shopping and serving, she seems to live life as a robot. But a lot is going on in her mind. Her life before laws changed, her daughter and her husband. Every day she wonders where they are. Are they dead? Are they alive? Over time, Offred is required to sleep with the commander, hoping to get pregnant. Eventually, she's requested to play Scrabble with the commander, which leads to a relationship with him. Soon, she finds out that she's just a temporary thing by finding out about a handmaid before her. One night, with the commander, she gets snuck outside the walls into a place called Jezebel's. Here, she gets reunited with a friend from before the laws changed. This is where she learned people were able to escape from the responsibilities that Offred and others had to face from the beginning. A few nights pass, and Serena tells Offred that the commander might be getting too old to produce children. So she sneaks her out to meet a guardian named Nick, so they can sleep together. This passes for several days, Offred spending time with the commander and sleeping with Nick. Remember, there are laws and rules, so she has two secrets to keep on her shoulders. In the end, it's all pointless. Her relationship with the commander is revealed to Serena Joy. Nick gets revealed to be a private eye, and Offred is taken away into the van. That is where the story ends. Many things go on in the story, but what stuck out to me was the ambiguous ending. We don't know where Offred went at the end of the book when she was taken away. We don't know what government secret she violated. It was left up to the reader to decide. It was an interesting way to end a story, but I think I see what Margaret Atwood was trying to do. She was trying she wanted us to think deeply about the book, not to just view it as a unique story in a unique society. The Handmaid's Tale tells us a story about government control. What would happen if the government had full control over us, and what would happen if we didn't have freedom of speech or no free will? She was shown control by being shown violent pornos that was told like, hey, this is how you would be treated we didn't if you didn't have the protection that we have with you guys being handmaids. Um, Another line that stuck out to me was freedom to and freedom from. It's they don't have the freedom to. We now have the freedom to. We have the freedom to get a job, go out, walk walk around in the streets, and do what we want basically. Though we do have rules to keep us safe. But in the handmaids, Offred and other handmaids have freedom from. They have freedom from doing what we have to do now. They're under control of the government. It's an interesting way to end the story, but this is what I thought about after reading The Handmaid's Tale. One thing that confused me about the book while reading it was the character dynamic of Offred. We expect each protagonist to be a round character with passions, interests, and feelings. Offred doesn't have many of those attributes in the book. Going through the story like with little to no interest, character development. He goes through the story like a robot. But I think that's what makes the story interesting because it shows the amount of control the government has over her. Because time has passed in the book, she adapted to the lifestyle that she was supposed to live by. She adapted to seeing people get executed in front of her and bodies hung over a wall, being shown that how she would be punished if she broke the laws that she's supposed to abide by. But she's not completely a robot. A lot goes inside of her head. On the outside, she lives as an obedient woman. but she cares, she still misses her daughter and her husband. The smallest things that you see while going out shopping and following her duties, you can see the memories flood back of her family, her mom, her husband, her daughter. She doesn't know where they are now, and she still cares about them. This shows that she isn't completely in control, that her mind isn't in control of the government like they wanted. I think this was interesting to see. It confused me while reading the book, and then after digging deeper and rereading the quotes that I annotated in the book, it was interesting to see. In my opinion, this I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed seeing like the things that we expect in a normal story not to happen, especially with Alfred's character development and the lack of it. And like I enjoyed analyzing the book after reading it. While reading it, I was confused, and then analyzing it after the ending, it was great. One thing that confused me though of why what Margaret Atwood did is why she didn't put quotations to indicate a character spoke during flashbacks. And then after discussing with some classmates, we I found out that it was supposed to indicate that this was happening in the past, and the word spoken in quotations is actually happening. One thing I also found out, or that found pretty awesome, is she was speaking to the reader throughout the book. She indicated that in one of the last two chapters. I cannot remember which chapters they were, but it was cool to see that she was talking to the audience like straight up. Yeah, if you are a big fan of dystopian books, I'd definitely recommend it, though it does have more mature themes. I would recommend it. It's a great story with a great concept. I I like the characters, especially Offred and how strong she is. But I want to thank you all for listening to this episode of my podcast and on the Handmaid's Tale. Please tune in next time. Thank you.